Hello, you're watching Proactive. Here's a look at some of the stories we've been covering in the small cap space this past week. Scancell CEO Philippe L'Huillier says the iSCIB1 Plus trial in melanoma shows a 69% progression-free survival at 22 months. He says the candidate will now move forward, supported by a screening tool to identify patients most likely to respond.
In our combined cohort in the target population, where we've got 72 patients, we're seeing a progression-free survival of 69% at 22 months. And if you can compare that to the historic standard of care, it's 11 and a half months, a median 11 and a half months. So that's 50% in 11 and a half months. It's a whopping difference.
Gaming Realms says Slingo keeps driving growth, with first half US revenues up 22% and brand licensing revenues surging sixfold. CEO Mark Siegel says cash has risen to £19 million, allowing investment in innovation, new features, and selected buybacks.
Our main valuable piece of IP is Slingo, which has got a very strong gaming brand in the gambling space, whether that's the iGaming space where we're developing and licensing the games, or also where we are licensing this IP into adjacent markets.
Accesso CEO Steve Brown says July and August trading offset a weak June, with momentum now back on track. He says acquisitions remain the priority, but buybacks or other returns could follow if new deals don't materialize.
And, we're generating cash just like we always have. And we'll continue to focus on acquisitions first. That's the highest return for us and for our shareholders. And if we don't see the acquisition opportunities there, we're going to focus on buybacks and other ways to return that capital to our shareholders.
Zytronic Chair John Walter has urged investors to vote at the upcoming AGM to protect their payout as the company is wound up. He said supporting board resolutions is key to ensuring shareholders get their cash returned in full.
So it's important to vote to get your money back. And also Tom Spain will be relying on voter apathy to get this through. So this is a two-stage process. You vote for the AGM. We're recommending that shareholders vote for all the resolutions in the AGM to continue with the process of getting all the money back to investors. And we recommend voting against the general meeting resolutions to safeguard this process and to safeguard their investment.
Speed Fibre CEO Peter McCarthy says the firm has now completed the BT Communications Ireland acquisition, adding ducts, fibre, staff and enterprise customers. He says the deal supports Cordion's growth strategy, making Speed Fibre Ireland's number 2 wholesale operator.
We're the number 2 now in the market from a wholesale perspective. So it means we've about 105, 110 wholesale customers. And while that might sound like a whole lot, we're talking about the Vodafones, the Verizons, AT&T, 3 Mobile. So there's a lot of big names in there which we're now doing business with.
Follow us and subscribe on YouTube, our social channels, and on proactiveinvestors.co.uk.